Hello my dear students. Today we are going to discuss the another important human physiology topic, which is nervous system. Okay, nervous system very interesting and it is important for NEET. Okay, one or two questions, mostly two questions will come this nervous system. Okay, there are different kind of questions coming from this chapter, which is very important and interesting. I will give you easily for this is complex topic. I will going to give you very easy, okay, in the teaching. Guys, just look into this. This is a nervous system. Nervous system is control any system in the body. Of course, brain is the most important organ which can be human intellectual than other animals. Okay, how just look into this, the brain of differentiate between the species. Human brain is the more complex in nature. There are billions of neurons are there in the brain. What is brain then? What is nervous system? Okay, brain under control, what are the organs in the body directly or indirectly, we are going to discuss in this topic. Okay, yep. And if come to the nervous system, this is the topic which is coming from NCERT, neural control and coordination. And coordination. Neural control and coordination. So, in this neural control and coordination, especially nervous system, which is nervous system divided into two types, not parts, which is central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system is there are two parts, which is brain and spinal cord. If come to the peripheral nervous system, which is at somatic nervous system, autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system again two types, which is sympathetic and parasympathetic. This is about the system of human nervous system. Okay, we are going to discuss each topic a detailed manner. What is a central nervous system? What is peripheral nervous system? Peripheral nervous system directly contact to the central nervous system. What is the part role of the central nervous system? We are going to discuss. Okay. Yep. Yeah, human nervous system. The central nervous system, which is brain, plus spinal cord. This is the central nervous system. Okay? Yes. Central nervous system. Central nervous system analyze, control the signals and process the signals. Okay? They can control analyze and process the signals. Central nervous system. Brain and spinal cord. What signals they can control and process and analyze. Guys, there is a snake that is comes towards us. There is an object moving. We have to find with our sensory, like visionary, like optic sense, they can recognize that is a snake. How recognize? The sensory neuron carry information to the brain. Brain can analyze that is the snake, and that can give the signal into the motor system, we are run away. This is what about the system and systematically nervous system going to work on. So, here just look into here, there is a information going which is sensory information towards the brain. First they can reach spinal cord and then reach brain. Okay? Sensory information. Okay. So, what we can call it is sensory nervous system. Okay? Yes. And brain can analyze, first they can reach spinal cord, the sensory signals they can reach first spinal cord, later on they can reach brain. Brain can analyze what happened, what is going on. Brain can process what is that signal. After that process they recognize that is the snake. So, brain can control the system and give the signal into the motor neurons. Motor neurons nothing but our skeletal muscle or involuntary muscles. Okay? They can work under the brain, that is comes under motor neuron. Okay? Brain can give the signal into the motor nervous system target. This is sensory neuron, this is motor neuron. Motor neuron. Motor neuron, if the brain give the signal into the skeletal muscle, that is somatic nervous system. Okay? These signals, if the signals pass skeletal muscle, this is somatic nervous system. If the signals pass smooth muscle, it is autonomous nervous system. This is voluntary muscles. This skeletal muscle is the voluntary muscle, and this is autonomous is involuntary muscle. Smooth muscles are involuntary. Involuntary muscles. This is again two types involuntary muscle, that is sympathetic and parasympathetic. These are the flight fight responses. Flight fight responses comes under autonomic nervous system. Guys, nothing but this part is peripheral nervous system, PNS, this part is CNS. PNS, they can carry information, sensory information into the brain, and spinal cord, CNS, that can be analyzed, control and process they can give the signal into the either motor nervous system, like motor nervous system which is skeletal system, voluntary and involuntary which is smooth muscle. Again involuntary, two types, parasympathetic and sympathetic. Parasympathetic, sympathetic, they are under control of flight fight responses, like heartbeat. If the snake is coming, suddenly heartbeat increase. Who can regulate? That is smooth muscle which is involuntary muscles under control of autonomous nervous system, which is the responsible of sympathetic, okay, and parasympathetic, they can control the sympathetic nervous system. Okay. If come to the heart rate, breath rate is comes under sympathetic, and if come to the digestive system, they are work done their self, that is comes under parasympathetic. This is all about the human nervous system, which is the like plays role every system, either peripheral nervous system or central nervous system. Peripheral nervous system directly attached to the central nerve, directly contact to the central nervous system, which is central nervous system, they can process, analyze and control the peripheral nervous system. This is about the central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. We will going to discuss what is spinal cord, what is brain, okay, what is under control of the brain or other parts. Okay. Yes. Yeah, if we going to read this central nervous system, which is include brain and spinal cord, and functions are the information they can process and control the signal. And if come to the peripheral nervous system, PNS, that is include nerves connected to the directly into the CNS, central nervous, peripheral nervous system directly connected to the central nervous system. That is two types, efferent and efferent. Efferent nothing but they can take the information into the brain, efferent nothing but they can information from the brain to the peripheral nervous system they can carry. Okay? Nothing but that is sensory neurons and motor neurons. Efferent is the sensory neurons, efferent are the motor neurons. Nothing but there is no challenges if the different words came into existence here. Okay? Yeah. If come to this as you know, and what is somatic nervous system? What is autonomous nervous system? Somatic nervous system control under the voluntary muscles, which is skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle comes under somatic. Got it? This is the peripheral, of course. And if come to the autonomous nothing but it is the involuntary muscles. They can directly smooth muscles from the central nervous system, that is sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic is the flight fight responses, which is increase the heart rate and dilates of pupils, like high muscles. Like if come to the parasympathetic, it is about digestive and respiration. About this is about peripheral nervous system, which is directly linked to the central nervous system, as they told. Yeah. Visceral nervous system. Guys, apart from the central and peripheral nervous system, visceral is also peripheral. Okay? Visceral also peripheral. There are visceral organs are there in our body. Such organs are lungs, liver, like heart and intestine. These are the visceral organs. They also under control of nervous system. Okay? This is about part of PNS, control of PNS. This is include nerve fibers and ganglia plexus, carries the signals from the central nervous system to the visceral and visceral to the central nervous system, like brain. Okay? Guys, just look into this. There is a what's ganglia, there is a what's tract, what is now, what is ganglia? We are going to discuss this term. Okay? If you know these terms, you may clear easily for the next class. Okay? I am going to give you the certain words meaning. Okay? Yep. Yeah. What is now? What is ganglia? What is tract. What is nucleus? These are the terms you must know, guys, before going to the subject class. Okay, guys, there are billions of neurons. There are neurons, such neurons are in the central nervous system, they can carry information and take the information, and there are neurons, certain neurons in the peripheral nervous system also, their neurons, they can carry information into the central nervous system. So, what is neuron first? This is the neuron, okay, like neuron has cell body, okay, this is cell body, this is axon. Of course, the information carried, the bundle of neurons or group of neurons, they can carry information into the central nervous system from the peripheral nervous system. Also, central nervous system also, the group of neurons, they can give the signals into the such parts, okay, either sensory signals or motor signals. Okay, guys, just look into this group of neurons. Okay. Group of neurons and group of axons. Okay. Yes. The group of cell bodies, group of cell bodies, and these are the group of axons. Group of cell bodies. Okay. So, here just look into this. Group of cell bodies, there are group of neurons are there in the peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system, group of neurons, that neurons also cell bodies and axons, same type in the peripheral nervous system, central nervous system. If the group of cell bodies in the peripheral nervous system called ganglia, PNS, group of cell bodies in the PNS we can call ganglia. Group of axons in the PNS called nerve. Group of axons in the peripheral nervous system called nerve. Group of cell bodies in the peripheral nervous system we can call ganglia. Okay. Yeah. Group of axons in the CNS, central nervous system, called tract. Group of cell bodies in the CNS called nucleus. So, nerve, ganglia, nucleus and a tract. Just don't confuse you guys. This is the tract, this is the nucleus in the central nervous system. The group of axon parts in the central nervous system called tract. Group of axons in the peripheral nervous system called nerves. If any accident going to take place, some nerves are damaged. Doctor said, doctor anybody says is neuron damage? No. Doctors mostly said there is a nerves, some nerves are damaged. Nerves mean the axon part of the peripheral nervous system called nerve. Okay? Yeah, axon part of peripheral nervous system called nerve. Okay? So, here just look into this term, I think you guys clear about it. Okay? Yes, thank you. Yeah, just look into here. Neurons are the functional units in the nervous system. Okay? CNS, brain and spinal cord, PNS like directly linked to the this. Okay? Yeah, somatic nervous system is autonomic, like that is voluntary. Autonomic nervous system is the involuntary. Okay? Yeah, I hope you guys clear about it. And next come to the topic is what is gray matter and what is white matter. What is gray matter and what is white matter? Okay? Yeah. What is gray and white matter? Yeah, this is cerebrum of the brain. Cerebrum of the brain, midbrain, hindbrain, finally spinal cord. Okay? Yes. If there are any signals from the PNS, if there any mosquito hit, okay, if we hit the mosquito, the signals going to through the brain. Like if the mosquito lay on your hand, what is this? If I see this is the mosquito, yeah, my sensory neurons, they can carry information into the brain. Yeah, brain find out this is the mosquito, we have to hit. Mean the sensory signals carry towards the brain and motor signal hit the mosquito. Okay? Yes. So, from the PNS, the signals first they can reach into the spinal cord. This is the neuron. Neuron has cell body and axon part, right? So, the cell body they can reach this central part of the spinal cord. Cell body reach central part of the spinal cord. There are group of neurons, the cell bodies they can reach spinal cord first. Okay? They can reach spinal cord, center part of the spinal cord they can reach. And the peripheral, like central nervous system, there are neurons. From this, the axon, they can carry the side part to the cerebrum. There is the relay center. There is a relay center in the central nervous system, we can call thalamus. First, these signals they can reach thalamus from the this. they can reach thalamus. From the spinal cord, they can reach thalamus. Thalamus. Thalamus can analyze what's going on. They can send information into the all over part of the cerebrum. Cerebrum has certain parts, like 4 parts are there based on their function. Cerebrum has certain parts, okay, and these signals carry forward to the cerebral cortex and cerebral medulla. These cell bodies are directly enter into the cerebral cortex in the neuron. Yeah, in the neuron there are the part of cell bodies neural cell, nerve cell bodies, they enters into cerebral cortex, cerebral cortex. So this is the cerebral cortex. They are filled with cell bodies. Cell bodies. Cell bodies are thick in nature. Cell bodies very thick. That's why they are looking like a matter, gray matter. Gray matter. This axon part, which is enter into the middle part, medulla of the brain, medullary part, axons are enters into cerebra, medullary center part. So medulla looking like white matter. White matter. Understand? The gray matter, which is cell bodies are appear thickness, that is gray matter in the cerebral cortex. The middle part, medullary part, there are no cell bodies, certain there are group of cell bodies are there, not that much of thick. So axons, mostly axon bundle is there in the cortex region of the cerebrum, that is looking like a white matter. There is a thin in nature, that is looking like a white matter. There is nothing challenges, they appear of the cell bodies and axons in the central nervous system. As usual, this is about cerebral part of the brain, forebrain. So if come to the cerebellum, which is part of brain stem, which is comes from the central like cerebrum, that is also same like central part is white matter and cortex outer part is the gray matter. If come to the spinal cord completely opposite like this. The center parts, there is a cell bodies enter in the central part, that is looking like a gray matter. Cortex outer part is they are axon bodies. Axon bodies are outer part, that is looking like a white matter. This is all over about gray matter and white matter. Very easy, guys. Okay, don't look into this is the what is like going on. Okay, yeah, just look into this outer part of the cerebral cortex. This is outer part of the cerebral cortex is gray matter. Just look into this gray matter. Spinal cord middle part is the gray matter. Just look into this. And outer cortex part is the white matter, which is axon part. This is the middle part, is the axon part in the brain. Completely opposite, guys. Very simple, very easy. You guys should understand this. You guys should understand this. Just look into this matter. The information in the spinal cord completely they can go through the dorsal part. The sensory signal always carry the information from the dorsal part of the spinal cord. Very easy. And motor neurons, they can take the information from the brain to spinal cord, which is from the ventral part of the spinal cord to the target skeletal muscle or involuntary muscles. Guys, just look into this. This is the dorsal horn. Always they can carry information from brain to spinal cord dorsal part. Sorry, from the peripheral nervous system to spinal cord. From the spinal cord they reach dorsal part. Okay? Yeah. And sensory neurons is somatic nervous system. They can enter. Yeah, we will going to discuss what is like. Yeah, here you have to understand white matter and grey matter. Later on we will discuss that. White matter is spinal cord, is always axon part. This is the cell bodies, axons and cell bodies. Okay. So, cell bodies which is enter mid part of the spinal cord. If come to this, if come to the brain, cell bodies are enter the cortex region outer part. Okay. This is about grey matter and white matter. Yeah, I hope you guys understand this. Okay? Yeah, you've come to this. Actually, brain is there, right? Yeah, this is cerebrum, midbrain, hindbrain, two parts, and spinal cord finally. Okay. This is central nervous system. If come to this, the central part of the brain as one ventricles, this is the cerebral cortex, cerebral cortex, cerebral cortex, cerebral cortex as two lobes, guys. Two lobes, left and right, left lobe and right lobe, left and right lobe. Two lobes are there in the cerebral cortex. This is has the ventricles, first and second ventricles are there in the cerebral cortex. Okay. This is the first and ventricles are allocated like this is first ventricle in the cerebral cortex, okay, and the second ventricle also there in the cerebral cortex. Left side and right side. Second ventricle and first ventricle. This is the third ventricle, which is thalamus located. This is third ventricle. Fourth ventricle is there, which is from the brain. They can carry forward into the this hindbrain. Hindbrain. There is no ventricle in the midbrain. Okay, this is like, I'm gonna explain you. This is midbrain. This is hindbrain. Hindbrain has this medulla. This is pons. Pons and medulla together we can call hindbrain. Hindbrain has fourth ventricle. This midbrain has no ventricle, which is the tube called cerebral aqueduct. Cerebral aqueduct. This is first ventricle, this is second ventricle, this is third ventricle. Ventricles are filled with a fluid we can call cerebral fluid. This fluid which is enter into the spinal cord, cerebrospinal fluid. Guys, this is the ventricle. They can carry forward fluid along with their tubes, like the fluid which is they can protect brain from any shocks, like they can give the strength to the neurons. Okay, yeah, first and second ventricles are there, fluid filled ventricles are there in the two cerebral hemisphere in the cerebrum, and third ventricle is middle part of the cerebrum, and fourth ventricle is located in the hindbrain. The midbrain, instead of cerebral ventricle, they has the tube, fluid filled tube we can call cerebral aqueduct. Okay, I hope you guys understand the ventricles in the brain. Okay, ventricles. Ventricles in the brain. Okay, 4 ventricles are there, like 2 ventricles are there in the heart, right? 4 ventricles are there in the brain. There is a heart which is filled blood, but here there is a filled fluid called cerebral fluid. Okay, I hope you guys understand this. Okay, yes, I am gonna take the next class. What is spinal nerve? The next class I am gonna take, which is what is spinal nerve. Okay, what is the role of spinal nerve? Okay, and there is another topic which is I am gonna take you what is the functions of forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. Okay, I hope you guys understand. This is the information about the human nervous system. Okay, the divide of the human nervous system, which is central nervous system, peripheral nervous system. What is the role of central nervous system, peripheral nervous system? What is terms ganglia, tract, nerve, and what is the cerebral fluids located in the ventricles? Okay, we are going to discuss the next topic is spinal nerve. Okay, thank you.